everyone, so excited to talk to you today. So we are focusing on something really big today, and that is comparison. We all know what comparison looks like, and you can spot it from a mile away. We do it with our body image, we do it with our career, we do it with our partners, our relationships, our income, our houses. Oh my God, we do it with everything. It's insane. And again, it just shrinks away everything that we are because we're so focused on the lack instead of the abundance of who we are. So I'm going to give you some real technical, I keep saying technical, but what I mean is tangible tools to help you actually stop comparison in its tracks so that you can actually return to the power of who you are and embrace everything that you are, because you're amazing and I want you to feel that way every single day. So number one is I want you to spot the triggers. So where are those triggers that come forward for you the most? I mean, it goes without saying that social media is a huge trigger platform for all of us. And we forget the way our brain registers social media is so instant and so fast that we actually really forget that a lot of the photos that we're seeing are edited, that they're not real, and that they're highly photoshopped. I actually watched a really sweet YouTube video the other day on just showcasing what some of the top Instagram fitness influencers, what their bodies actually look like, because they edit them so much. And of course, this isn't everyone, but it just goes to show you it's the same as when magazines were the major publications that we saw and compared our bodies to, for instance. Like, those were all edited, and now we're only just starting to see the reveal of what we're actually looking to. But when your brain spots those people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't instantly in that moment register, oh right, this there's a possibility that this isn't real. It just goes, oh, this is real and I actually don't look like that. Or this person is on this vacation and it looks amazing and wonderful and their life is so great, but I'm sitting here crying in my bed, like unable to sleep because I feel so shitty about a part of my life. And that's the reality. We're just seeing those split instant images, and our brain is registering with the story that we most quickly relate to. So I would really encourage you to, step one, understand where your triggers are and actually note those down. So if it is social media, then how are you going to actually limit social media in a way that works for you? So for me, I can't look at it until at least 10 in the morning, because I don't want the first thing that happens when I wake up to be looking at things that make me feel like I'm not enough. And a second part of that is I want you to actually go through your feed and remove the people that are triggers for you. And you know what, be brutally honest with this, because it could be some of your friends. And I mean, that's not the case for me, but there could be people that are actually in your closer circle that are triggering you. And it's not that you don't love them or, appreciate them. It's just, I want you to be so honest with yourself and just temporarily edit your feed so that you're actually feeling like the content that you're consuming inspires you and lights you up, and they're people that you can look at and not feel like you're comparing yourself to. And when you feel like you're in a healthier mind state and you're stronger in that way, you can bring it back. But I want you to only have people that feel like expanders for you. So people that expand how you feel about yourself, make you feel more abundant, show you what's possible, and be real. Those same people that you're removing right now could actually be expanders for you later, but in this moment in time, they're not expanders for you, and that is totally okay. So I want you to edit your feed and consume only things that make you feel really strong about yourself. So, perhaps if it's for body image, perhaps instead of following all these fitness influencers, if they're not making you feel good about your body, then just for now, take them off and choose people that are showcasing maybe more real ups and downs about their body. And that feels something like more inspiring to you, because the point is we want to step into that higher vibration and not constantly feel like we're putting ourselves down. So step one, identify your triggers. Step two, I want you to edit your social media feed and who you're following to make sure you're consuming content that feels expansive. Number three, how are you starting your day? So I've talked about this before, but when we sleep, we open ourselves up to have the most restful, regenerative, healing. We're basically like healing ourselves through our sleep. And when we wake up, we're in this fresh canvas of life where we actually, can really decide intentionally how we want to start our day. And I got in the really bad habit of, my alarm wakes me up and then immediately I've got on my phone all those banner notifications that are like texts and Instagram and whatever. And so my default is check my email, to go on Instagram, respond to those things. And by the time, 5 minutes after I've woken up, my mind is already consumed with all these things that are making me feel like I'm rushed, I'm stressed, I'm not good enough. And then the dialogue starts again that makes you feel again that it triggers those parts of you that don't feel good enough and don't feel like you're enough. So how are you starting your day with a powerful ritual that actually gives you the ability to decide how you want to feel about yourself? And for me, again, I remove social media until at least 10 a.m. and I am so conscious of how I consume it because that for me has been a trigger in the past. So I want you to really think about how you intentionally want to start your day and set boundaries around, again, the triggers for you, and make sure that you can have those triggers in a way that you can powerfully move through them. And I guarantee that the morning is one of our most susceptible and vulnerable times, so I want you to be really careful about that. So setting up a powerful ritual for you in the morning, and I have a lot of tips for you in previous videos about how you can what a morning ritual might look like for you that allows you to step into that powerfully. And that goes the same for bed. You don't want to be on your phone, on your email or in any of those trigger points right before bed, because that's how you're setting yourself up to go to sleep. And let me tell you, your dreams are going to mimic exactly what you're thinking about. So you want to make sure that you're powering down and actually, honoring yourself in a way that feels powerful. So the next point is that, so I think we're on number 4. When we are not feeling whole in ourselves and our self-worth, it is so much easier to take comparison in like a much heavier light, and we are so much more susceptible to feeling less than about ourselves, and we feel so much more vulnerable and fragile, and that is so okay. I want you to know that there have been infinite times in my life where my self-worth has not been where I know it should be, and that is why I fell victim to this comparison syndrome and feeling even worse about myself. And so if you are noticing that you're feeling incredibly fragile in your self-esteem and your self-worth, and there are so many times where you're comparing yourself and it's just over and over again, then I really want you to consider, what are you doing to really work through that in a powerful way, because it becomes it's the most important thing for us to take care of ourselves. And if you personally don't feel like you have the resources, then please reach out to someone that you feel aligned to do this work, because the stronger our self-worth is, the more that we actually give zero shits about what we're seeing out in the world, because we're so confident in who we are and our unique worth. And that's truly something I feel so passionate about, because if you really saw you, the way that I do, or the way that others do, then you would know, hey, there's no comparison, because every cell of what makes you unique cannot be compared to anything else. So really think about how you can turn up, your healing, your personal development to really up-level your self-worth so that you can feel more unstoppable. And if you ever want to talk to me, I'm always here for you, because this is what I do all the time. But again, find someone that you feel really aligned with. The next point is, so with our self-worth, we tend to actually only compare to the external things. So we can only see so much in another person, and our snap judgment is on the outside. And so the thing is, just remember that everybody is dealing with their own shit, their own problems. And so what you're seeing through that lens is just what your stories and your predisposition is telling you to see in another person. And that might be immediately comparing to their body, their career, their partner, and you don't have one, etc. And that's all external things. And in a moment of time, those can all be taken away. And I don't say that to be scary or harsh. It's to really highlight that, these things are just what we see on the outside, and we know that everybody is dealing with their own stuff. We have no idea what a person's going through. And so yeah, cool, maybe their body seems amazing to you, and that's something that as a fitness instructor I felt like a lot of people that were in my classes, like they would say to me, like, how do you look like this, and blah blah blah. And it's one of those things where it's not always what it seems, because in that case for me, I was actually I was sick at that time, and I was over exercising and not taking care of my body, and You know, so it's not always what it seems, and in some cases it might be, but for the majority of time, really love you to encourage to really trust that what you're seeing on the outside is not always a reflection of what you truly want in a package, and what is most important and what is the most powerful thing we have is what is on the inside, because that is something that no one can take away from us. Whereas like our external things and the physical, tangible things that we own, like homes, whatever, our salary, all can be gone, and it's so fragile. So I would really love for you to think about how you can start to really emphasize more of what's on the inside. Okay, last two things. I want you to focus more on what lights you up, because so often we're just focused on the dialogue of what's out there, what everybody else is doing, and we lose sight of who we are and what makes us amazing and what makes us feel so powerful. So step into more of your joy. Find what you love to do, and this could be small, big. This could be as small as like a 1-minute routine, like dancing in your house, or it could be as big as, you know, like taking on an acting class if that's what you really want to do. And that's top of mind because I want because that's something that's been on the back of my mind. It's something I want to do. So look into how much of your weeks you're spending doing things that actually don't light you up, and how can you invest more time in your joy, because the more joy you step into, again, the more abundant and passionate you feel about yourself and confident, and the less comparison and these things even occupy your mind. Believe me. Really reevaluate your routines and see how you're waking up in the morning and going to bed, and understand how much of your day you're consuming content and things that trigger you, and try to reframe that. And, you know, just spend more time actually celebrating you. We are so bad at actually acknowledging ourselves and what makes us us and what makes us feel powerful and confident. And if this is difficult for you, which I guarantee it is for a lot of us, start small. So if you have a daily journaling practice, I want you to just write 10 things you're grateful for about yourself. And I do that every day. And it could be even smaller if that's too much for you. 3 things that you feel really grateful for about yourself. And always invest the time in stepping into more of that energy. So I've given you a lot of things. I want to make sure this video isn't too long. If you have any questions whatsoever, please always let me know. Drop me a comment and let me know how these things go. Please download my free training. This is amazing if you want to overcome your inner critic, because my goodness, we spent so much time with our inner critics, and it's time to take that power away. And if you are looking to really dive into this work, you want to completely slay your inner critic, you want to develop a confidence that you never thought possible, you want to step into the self-worth to help you achieve everything that you want in your life, because that's really the unlock. When we overcome our inner critic and we get rid of these stories, we actually just free ourselves in not only our body image, not only our relationships, it's a thread that's woven through everything. Then drop me a note. I'm here for you. I want to spend time with you, and this is what lights me up the most. I love you all and hope to see you all very soon. Bye. I see you, I feel you, and I've been through it all. And you're not going to be alone anymore. So why I started Brazen Soul Rebellion is because the thing I am most passionate about in this whole entire world is you stepping into your unlimited power. I spent so long looking for self-worth outside of myself. I spent so long living in shame and isolation based on all the experiences I had been through. We all go through shit, so instead of hiding behind it, let's just embrace it and celebrate the fact that we are all unique based on what we go through. Why it's called Soul Rebellion is because for me, tapping into your soul is the most important thing you can do to find that guidance for yourself. I'm here to support you in getting to that next place. And this is all about you stepping into your power so you become so unstoppable that you don't even know what to do with it. So what do you think? You ready to be a rebel? Let's go.